Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to completely demystify the application process for the Lagos Youth Climate Action Fund. Look, if you're a young person with a brilliant, hands-on idea to tackle climate change right in your community, but you just aren't quite sure how to get it funded, well, you are in the exact right place. Today we're focusing squarely on giving you the ultimate blueprint. We want you to understand this process inside and out, so you can put your ideas together and navigate this microgrant application with total confidence.
Now, to understand why this is such a massive opportunity, we first need to look at the sheer scale of the initiative. Lagos State hasn't just launched this in a vacuum. It's actually one of 300 international cities backed by Bloomberg Philanthropies, alongside partners like United Cities and local governments and the Bloomberg Center for Public Innovation at Johns Hopkins University. This entire global cohort is rallying behind one absolutely crucial idea: funding urgent, youth-led climate solutions. So taking part in this gives your local project some serious global credibility and backing. So here is our tactical roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to cover 1. The opportunity, 2. The team, 3. The proposal, 4. The finances, and finally, 5. The finish line. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The opportunity. It's incredibly exciting to see tangible resources being placed directly into the hands of young activists like you. We're talking about specific microgrants ranging anywhere from $1,000 up to $5,000 per project. And Lagos State has a total funding pool of $40,000 specifically for this initiative. So what does that math actually mean for you? It means the review committee is going to be selecting an estimated 8 to 40 projects to receive these awards. This isn't just 1 or 2 lucky winners, There's a really wide lane here for well-structured projects to secure real funding.
Section 2. The team.
Okay, before you even write a single word of your proposal, you have to get your team right. There are some strict eligibility rules here, and forming the correct partnership is literally the foundation of a winning application. On one side of this dynamic, we have the youth project leaders. To qualify here, there has to be at least 2 of you, and you both must be between the ages of 15 and 24. You are the creative force. You propose, design, and lead the actual implementation of the project. But, and this is a critical but, you can't just apply by yourselves to receive the funds directly. That's where the other side comes in, the sponsor organization. You absolutely must identify a local nonprofit, a neighborhood association, a civic group, or maybe a school administrator. This adult sponsor steps in to enter the formal legal agreement with the state, physically receive the grant funds, and then disperse them to you while helping oversee the project's overall success. So remember, you need both halves of this equation to even move forward.
Section 3. The proposal.
Right. Once your team is locked in, you enter the design phase. This is where your specific ideas need to be carefully aligned with the exact needs of Lagos. There are 5 main Lagos climate priorities, and every single successful proposal has to clearly target at least one of these specific areas. We're looking at urban greening and biodiversity, which could be something like creating a community garden, climate adaptation and flood resilience, sustainable agriculture, waste management and circular economy, or renewable energy. Listen, if your project doesn't map directly to one of these themes, it's just not going to get funded. So anchor your big idea right here first.
Now here's a spot where a lot of folks get tripped up by grant jargon. Your proposal has to include at least one output and one outcome, and both need numerical targets. Let's break this down using a rain garden as an example. Your project activity is distributing home rain garden kits at a local school. Okay, so your output is the direct deliverable, literally the actual number of kits you handed out. It proves you did the work. Your outcome, however, is what happens because of those activities. It's the number of rain gardens that actually got planted and are now out there reducing the urban heat island effect or helping manage stormwater. To put it simply, output is what you do, outcome is the real-world result you achieve. You want to keep that distinction crystal clear in your application.
Section 4. The finances.
I know. Budgets can be kind of intimidating, and this is exactly where some applications fall apart. But I promise we're going to make this incredibly simple. Before we even think about what you can buy, let's look at what you absolutely cannot spend this money on. Please, don't waste your time including any of these ineligible expenses, because it will get your proposal rejected. You cannot use the microgrant to pay for any expenses you incurred before the award is actually given. There's no lobbying, no paying rent or utilities, no scholarships to individuals, and no out-of-state travel. Oh, and here's another massive rule to keep in mind. Equipment and infrastructure costs cannot exceed 50% of your total project budget. The whole point here is to fund youth leadership and action, not just, buying a bunch of gear.
So let's see how all this builds into the actual budget template you're going to use.
You have to itemize every single cost and categorize it properly under administration, supplies, or other. For instance, you'd put a $100 line item for soil for garden strictly under the supplies column, or maybe $50 for bus fare to enable youth participation over in the other column. Also notice that a sponsor organization can take a small administration cost, say $500 in this example. You have to provide a solid justification for every single expense, and most importantly, the math across all these columns has to perfectly add up to your total requested amount, which, again, has to be somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000.
Section 5. The finish line.
You've got the project, you've got the team, and you've nailed the budget. Now we're zeroing in on the strict logistical requirements to actually get this application across the finish line. The application window is already open, but I really want to put massive, absolute emphasis on the deadline, September 21, 2026 at 10:59 p.m. Not midnight, 10:59 p.m. Applications received after that exact time for any reason whatsoever will not be considered. Also, don't try mailing or emailing your documents. That will result in immediate disqualification. The whole shebang must be submitted via Google Forms. If you hit that deadline, awards are announced on October 2nd, and then the clock starts ticking. All projects have to be entirely completed by March 15th, 2027.
So how exactly are they going to judge you? Well, we're pulling back the curtain and revealing the actual 100-point evaluation rubric right now. You're scored out of 20 points each for relevance to the climate action plan, your project goals, the feasibility of your plan, and the overall sustainability and impact. Then, you get up to 10 points for innovation and another 10 points for having a clear budget rationale. When you are doing your final read-through of your application, seriously grade yourself against this exact rubric. Make sure you're directly addressing these criteria with a super clear focus.
To wrap up this tactical blueprint, I want to leave you with 4 immediate, actionable steps so you can start your journey today. Step 1, find a co-leader who is between 15 and 24 years old. Step 2, secure that adult sponsor organization we talked about. Step 3, draft your proposal and your budget, ensuring it strongly aligns with a Lagos climate priority. And Step 4, submit everything completely through that official Google Forms link before 10:59 p.m. on September 21st.
You now have the structure, you know the rules, and you even have the exact scoring criteria. The funds are literally waiting to be deployed. So here's my question for you. What urgent climate solution will you lead in Lagos? It's time to take these structured ideas, step up, and put them into real-world action. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and good luck with those applications.